If you are a Black content creator here on this app and you start your videos with, "Dear white people, we don't want your advice." Okay? We don't want your advice. When you start a video like that, you immediately are putting all of us on the defense, because just like you can't help the color of your skin, we can't help the color of our skin. Some of the content creators that I have seen lately on this app, you guys are obsessed with us. You're obsessed. We're not spending our days thinking about you or how we can make offensive videos towards you. Dear Black people, dear Black women, or advice for Black women. I'm not gonna give you advice. I don't have any of your lived experiences, and I'm not gonna pretend that I do. If I ever came onto this app and I said, "Dear Black women, I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you this," you would immediately be put on the defense so fast. You'd be pissed, because you're like, I'm not gonna listen to this white woman give me advice on like my hairstyle, how I dress, how I talk, where I live, what I do. I saw a woman on this app yesterday, and the comments are they're not disappointing, because you have other Black women in there, Black men, that are all coming at this lady because she started her video that way. It's like, I don't need your advice. Why are you so obsessed? Why are you so obsessed with us and what we're doing?
Well, the reason that it is because it's always been popular, as far as I know, in my lifetime, for Black people to pick at white people. Because Black people for a long time have considered themselves a victim. And so now they're taking this opportunity to get 3, 4, 5, 600 years of reparations back from white people, which is so dumb. It's so stupid, because no person that I know that is alive today has ever experienced any kind of slavery, racism, and all of that stuff. And so now what's happening right now is it's called culture gatekeeping. And what culture gatekeeping is trying to control the narrative of how other people receive you based off of what you think is your culture. So, for example, there's a lot of Black women that are wrong as far as understanding where cornrows came from, but right now it is super popular for Black people to have braids and cornrows. So if they see a white person have it, then they're going to start off their video and say, "Dear white people." And then they're going to go into how it is that you're culturally inappropriate for appropriating their cornrows, right? And I'll also tell you this. There is a lot of Black people that take their talking points from popular culture, which is often wrong. And so they're loud and wrong at the same time. Now, I will tell you, and I know this goes without saying, but we got to have this conversation in its entirety, that nobody is a monolith. No white person, no Black person is a monolith. So if I ever run into a white racist woman, I can't just apply that to you and to every other white person and then get mad at all white people and then have a conversation about why all white people are racist, right? So when we segment this, and it's the same way when it comes to Black people, right? There's a group of Black people, and I like to call it, people label it Black fatigue, but I like to call it ghetto fatigue, right? And there's a segment of the population, just like every other culture, where there are degenerates among us. And so those group of people then are the loudest, so then it becomes what the culture is, right? The loudest people in the room, the people that push the most propaganda, the people that are saying this stuff that's stupid and the loudest, they ultimately are the ones that is the forefront of the culture. And so there's another segment of us that separate ourselves from those people. And I think that every culture does it. So when you see people that get on the application and they say, "Dear white people," to do that, they just don't give a fuck. They don't care. They don't have any regard for you. They are not celebrating you. They're not trying to get you to understand them. They're not having these conversations with y'all in good faith. It is to create content. It is to continue to push division. And it is to continue to try to make you feel as though your privilege is creating a victim within them, which then allows for them to say that, "Hey, we need diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so as a result, you guys need to get out of the way, or you need to come and promote us," right? I see a lot of white apologists who are not doing you any favors. A white apologist is similar to a simp when it comes to relationships. Most men know, and most men are trying to do the right thing when it comes to the women that they interact with, right? And they're taking them at face value. They're adjusting because they know that they're at a disadvantage, and that the game is kind of muddy right now. So, we have to be careful with how we navigate. But then you'll see this white knight, this simp come along, and he'll reinforce all of the wrong things with the women that we have to deal with on a daily basis, which kind of throws salt in the game, and it makes it difficult because women will go around thinking that all men think this way, when in reality, that guy wouldn't take her either, but he's saying the right things in order to get some kudos, right? And it's the same thing when it comes to white apologists. White apologists are the simps of the culture when it comes to reinforcing negative stereotypes and the ways in which these people feel. And so what they'll do is they'll say, "Oh my God, we stand with you. We protest with you. I can't believe it. We understand your plight and your pain. Hey guys, you would never know unless you're in their shoes, and so we have to give them a leg up and all of this stuff." And they sick of it too, but they just trying to fit in, right? And so they kind of dirty macking, and it kind of puts you guys at a disadvantage because then you got a lot of people that look like me that look at the trash part of the culture and they embrace it. And so they feel compelled to do so because they'll say, hey, that white person or these group of white people, they acknowledge us. They acknowledge us. Have y'all ever had a conversation with somebody that continues to think that racism still exists and they want you to acknowledge it? And I've gotten to the point sometimes where I was, arguing or debating with somebody and I said, oh, okay, so for the sake of conversation, I acknowledge you. Now what? Silence, because they don't want anything in particular, right? They just want to be a complaining person. They want to be angry. They want to be misunderstood. They want to feel like the victim. And so, they'll argue against themselves if you just stay quiet long enough because they just angry people. So when y'all see these people that get on these applications or these blackity blacks, understand that the culture is shifting. It's changing. It's no longer just that way or their way. It is 100% a different perspective and a different culture and a different way in which a lot of us, black people, I mean, I don't even like to use the word black because it's a construct that is given to you by other people that don't even have your best interests at heart. But there's a lot of people that look like me with the same level of pigmentation in their skin that are Americans that don't agree with it. We don't rock with it. And I'm glad that y'all finally starting to have a conversation about it because it is borderline racist and disrespectful for people to continue to address you in ways that they don't want to be addressed. They will never stop at a video where they say dear black people or dear black women or dear this or dear that, and then listen to them and then make the appropriate changes according to whatever it was advised of them. That's not how it goes. And so I think that you should reciprocate energy. You get what you get out of it. I would just stop trying to accommodate people and make them feel good about who you are and how you rock out. It's dumb, it's stupid, and you're only embarrassing yourself as a result of it. But who am I? What do I know? Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. And I always like to link back to the content creator and give credit where credit is due. So that link will be in the description also. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. I want to know, are you used to hearing people say this? And are you starting to see a wave of people, specifically white people or white women, and even white men, that are popping up and they're responding to these comments and they're responding to these people, which obviously it's not doing any good for people to say, dear white people. You know what's so funny? Their target audience when they're talking to a dear white people and they starting to talk to their phone and they having this conversation, their target audience isn't even white people. It's other black people that agree with them. Anyways, let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.